Hey, good day. Welcome to another episode of Rob Report. How you doing today? Well, Mike Pompeo doing what Mike Pompeo do best. Lie. You remember this?
When I was a cadet, what's the cadet motto at West Point? You will not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do. I was the CIA director. We lied, we cheated, we stole. It was like we had entire training courses. It reminds you of the glory of the American experiment.
So knowing he said all this stuff, why should I have any reason to believe him when he goes on Jake Tapper and start talking about the attacks on Iran and Trump tweets? Watch this. Brand New Year's resolution from our government. Assassinate, and yeah, I say assassinate, a top general in the Iranian army. Assassinate a top general in the Iranian army. All because you speculate this guy was a horrible person. Let's say he was a horrible person. You still gonna order strikes on a foreign leader in another country that he was visiting in? Is that dumb? How dumb and stupid can you be? Now, I blame Trump for this, but Trump cannot do this without intelligence. And I blame the CIA, I blame Secret Service, and I blame any other intelligence agency in our country. Now, a lot of us don't even know who are these intelligence agencies, because oftentimes on the news, they always say intelligence sources say. And they never tell you who are the intelligence sources. It could be Elmo as far as I care. Elmo ordered a strike on Iran. Yeah. Who cares about that crap? And you guys sit here and believe everything the federal government tell you. And I've shown you videos of Mike Pompeo himself saying, as when he was the CIA director, his job was to lie, cheat, and steal. He said they created manuals on teaching people how to lie, cheat, and steal. As soon as they manufacture some kind of reason to bomb another country, to do regime change, or to assassinate a leader of another country, a lot of you Trump nut huggers sit there and buy that mess. Well, he was a horrible leader. Like Kim Jong-un is not a horrible leader. Like our federal government is not. Obama bombed people, killed an American citizen in one of the bombings. He ordered the drone strikes. Same thing with Bush. Now Trump done joined the club. And y'all sitting here taking sides. You taking sides on a bunch of war hawks that all they care about is going into a foreign country and controlling their gold, their diamonds, their oils, their crude oil. That's all they care about. And we are leading in the forefront of that. But the only country that we literally suck the nipples off of is Israel and Saudi Arabia. Oh man, we always sucking on them. And Trump is one of the biggest babies sucking on the nips of Iran. I think Trump sucked more than the nips of Saudi Arabia and Israel. Now, let me make this clear for you people who might call me an anti-Semite. I'm not talking about the people of Israel. And I'm talking about the Israeli leadership, who right now is under investigation right now for crimes. Netanyahu. You guys wonder why sometimes it take me to do one of these? I got other stuff in my life I got to take care of first, but this stuff still pondering through my head. Because even though I care about my people, my black people, I still care about the world. My God would not allow me not to be one-sided. Here we are We're putting people in harm's way that probably had nothing to do with what their government leaders do. I talk about Benjamin Netanyahu and talk about what a dictator is and what kind of tyrant he is, and Christian people get on me because I don't support him. I don't support him. I support the people of Israel because I support people. Just like with these Iranian people. We are about to put even harsher sanctions on the Iranian people who had nothing to do with the policies of Iran. Just like we sat here and put sanctions on Russia, who had nothing to do with the policies of Vladimir Putin. Sanctions. In other words, we're going to block them from getting food. We're going to block them from getting the goods that they need to live everyday life. We are going to block them. And to me, whenever sanctions are just as bad as dropping bombs. Just kill me. You're going to block a whole a strait. You're going to block a whole body of water to keep food from coming into a country that's supposed to go to those people like we're doing in Venezuela. We're doing this mess. Dominican Republic ain't doing this. Jamaica ain't doing this. Bahamas not doing this. People in Samoa are not doing this. It's the American government doing this. And we wonder why people always look at us. We wonder right now, there was a resolution in the parliament of Iran that labeled us as terrorists. Well, they didn't label us as terrorists, the American people. But they labeled Donald Trump a terrorist. Now, he's the first one in Iran to get labeled a terrorist. Now, the world labeled all 4 of our past presidents terrorists. All 4 of our past presidents have been labeled as war criminals. Why? Because we're not in a literal war. We haven't declared war. We're in proxy wars, or we're looking to start a war, and it's for nothing more than resources. Controlling a region so we can dominate the traffic of goods and resources going in and out of the country, so we can control the oil, so we can control the petroleum, so we can control diamonds, so we can control minerals, you name it. Why do you think we're in these countries? It's not terrorists. We use terrorists. We send money to terrorists to attack another country. It was leaked in WikiLeaks documents during the 2016 election that called out these Democratic numbnuts that was trying to rig the election against Bernie Sanders. In those same documents, it was leaked. It was leaked on what they were planning on doing with our resources. Well, not our resources, other people's resources. Then you got General West, who went on a speaking tour talking about how they planned on taking out 7 nations and doing regime change. And we're on the 7th one right now. Libya was on that list. Iran, Iraq, all 7. We're currently right now doing military operations in 7 countries. 7. America is not the beacon of light that we used to be. Sure, we're a prosperous nation, but we didn't get that prosperous nation by doing right. Majority of the time, we became the prosperous nation because we always put our feet on somebody. The slave trade was all about free labor, putting your feet on somebody, treating them like trash so we can get rich. Wouldn't even give them adequate housing. Put them up and gave them some wood and a nail and a hatchet, build your own shed. And whatever food we got left, you can have that. What do you think we get? Why black people love hog mogs and chitlins and all that, because that was what's left of what we had to give the master. The master ate the good parts of the pig, and we were left with the scraps. After burning to a crisp all day, picking in the cotton field 14, 15 hours and only getting about 9 hours of sleep. Not time with our family, sleep. To be back on the field the next morning, and you better make your quota or your butt was going to get whipped. All right, so we're going to get into this a little bit. A lot of things happening. Mike Pompeo trying to make excuses for this dumb move that we did. You realize that man was like the number 2 man in popularity, up there with the Ayatollahs. This general of the Iranian army, which we call terrorist organization. We didn't label it. The American people didn't label it. Donald Trump and the CIA and all those numbnuts up in Washington, D.C. decided to label the Revolutionary Guard of Iran terrorists, just like we labeled the Revolutionary Guard of Iraq terrorists. So what about our Revolutionary Guard? Now, I really feel bad for our soldiers. My brother is a soldier. He trained soldiers. He was on Twitter today talking about him seeing soldiers getting on a plane to go to Iran, to go to Iraq to possibly attack Iran. Iran didn't do one thing to us. Not one. Yeah, you heard rumors about this general planning and ordering the killings of Americans. But what evidence have you seen? If you've seen some evidence, put it in the comment section. Let me see it. The federal government lie and cheat more than they tell the truth. The federal government, the CIA, and all these intelligence sources, NSA and all them, is 99.9% liars. And they're proud of that, and they have admitted over and over again. But yet when they say something on TV and the numbnut news follow that narrative, you sit there and believe it. When they told you, they lie. Mike Pompeo, our Secretary of State, sit here and said we lie all the time. And you believe it. I will always believe their lying tongue. They're going to have to prove to me that they did it. And everybody in America should be that way. I don't care if you do like Trump. I don't care if you do like Biden. I don't care if you do like Bernie. I don't give a crap whether you like him or not. When it comes to things like this, where people's lives can be on the line, you need evidence. I'm not believing you for nothing. I might like you, but I don't believe you. And people wonder why I'm in the middle, why I'm an independent. Because I don't trust none of these party leaders. All of them lie. And y'all sitting up there and actually believe, oh, he was with this person, he was with that person, he's affiliated with that person. That don't mean nothing. That sounds like the guy across the street and everybody saying he was such a nice guy, but he killed 35 kids. You don't know that man. You haven't spent time with that man. Oh, Biden was with Obama. That don't mean he's Obama. Biden wrote one of the most racist bills in American history. Third to, slavery was one. The opportunity to purchase slaves and use them for your pleasure. The other one was the Jim Crow law, and that crime bill was the third. And to this day, he don't apologize for it, and he claimed that it is the best thing he ever did for his country. Putting black people in jail for some of the dumbest things you can ever think of. Guilt by association. You know a drug dealer, if somebody got drugs in their pocket and you happen to just say hello and we run them both in, we running both of y'all in and we're going to lock y'all up for the same charges. And same thing. Bernie signed that bill. Well, Bernie Sanders, he stood up he in Congress talked about how bill that was. That makes it even worse. So don't you come in my DM, don't you come in my comments telling me, trying to defend that mess. Now, don't get me wrong. Bernie got some great policies going forward. I believe everybody make dumb mistakes and they should admit it and stop making excuses for it. I've made many dumb mistakes. I cannot make excuses for it. I can come up with reasons. I can come up with excuses. Some of them sound good, but at the end of the day, I did the doggone thing and it was a bad mistake. So stop letting him off the hook. He sat right there in that Senate floor and he knew what it was going to do to the black community, men, women, boys, and girls. But yet his lame excuses, oh, but they put the Violence Against Women Act in the bill and I can't do that to violence against women. Stop using that as a lame excuse. You knew the violence against women is no well impelled against the violence against black people, which include black women. There's no excuses for him signing the bill, and to this day, he need to apologize for it and stop making excuses. He could have came up with his own bill dealing with violence against women. There's no excuse for me for that. And I don't care who don't like me saying that. I don't care. And you can debate me on that, but this is not debatable. The fact is he signed the bill and the excuse he got, it continues to be lame every time I hear him. And you wonder why black people, whenever Bernie Sanders talk about he marched with Dr. Martin Luther King, yeah, that's great, but you need to stop saying that. We heard you on that. What that got to do with us now, going forward? How what you did in the past is going to help black people today? But yet y'all taking sides. Now you say, Rob, you done came from Trump all the way to Biden to Bernie Sanders because you guys sitting up here believing anything these political leaders tell you, and you sitting up there buying it. Oh, I like this person. Look, I ain't trusting none of them. You have to earn my trust. And the moment Donald Trump became president, I gave him an open deal because I try to give people a chance. And it wasn't even probably an hour later he messed that up. Let's go into this thing, man. As you can see, I'm kind of fired up because I have to get quiet sometimes because I'm sitting up here watching these Trump numb nuts. Excuse me, you're not numb nuts, but I call you nut huggers. You're holding his nuts. You're hugging them. This man said he wanted to stop all these wars. That we should have never win in certain wars. Yet he's this close from a brink of a war. And here we are. We got President Obama, who did one of the best things he did in his presidency. He could have did better, because to me, the best thing he could have did was put in policies to help his own so-called community close the wealth gap, give them just as much equal rights, because there's a lot of equal rights that black people still don't have to this day compared to whites, and that need to stop. Especially those who've been here since the foundations of this country. There were black people here when we signed the Declaration of Independence. There were black people when they came across here from the Mayflower. Because we had black Indians. Now I know you black people that's hung up on all blacks come from Africa. You know, black is a color. Black is not a region. It's a color. But let me not go there because you're going to get ticked off on me about that, which I really don't care. Here we are. This man gets impeached. Nancy Pelosi want to play games holding the impeachment papers, trying to get a quid quo pro, the same thing that Trump got convicted of, the same thing that Joe Biden was. This whole thing started with Joe Biden quid quo pro, Trump checking into Joe Biden's quid quo pro and trying to get some evidence on him doing a quid pro quo. Yet Nancy Pelosi, they do an impeachment, but Nancy Pelosi want to hold the impeachment papers to get a quid quo pro from Mitch McConnell on the trial for impeachment. A bunch of doggone freaking kids, all of them. All of them. I got to have things my way. I did it my way. Playing games. And here's Trump. Trump got to have things his way. Obama went and did a deal, a solid deal with Iran. And say, look here, bro, let's work together. Don't produce any uranium that's going to go toward a bomb. Now, again, uranium is one of the richest commodities in Iran. A lot of their power come from uranium. They are a heavily nuclear powered country. But we assume because they have enemies, and we may have been one of them, Israel another one, Saudi Arabia another, our boys, matter of fact, no, our pimps, since they don't like our pimps are saying that they're using uranium to create a bomb. Ain't nobody trying to create no bomb, man. And even if they did, well, how can we create nuclear bombs, but they can't? Oh, we're a little more civilized. They're savages. Fool, we the one going around bombing up all the freaking whole entire world, lighting it on fire, and they're the savages? Oh, you're an Iranian sympathizer. No, I'm a sadithizer because I'm sad at our country bullying people all over the world. I told you we got our wealth by that. Oh, we got our wealth because we're a country that served God and God just blessed us. You know, God still blessed dumb idiots and fools even though they don't deserve to be blessed. You know, there's drug dealers out there right now that's wreaking havoc on people's lives through drugs or through violence, but yet God still, his grace is still upon them, hoping for a change, waiting for that day of change. Now you done gone to preaching to people. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, nah. America became the wealthy country they are by bullying, by dominating, by brutalizing and spilling blood. And here we are. We're trying to bully, dominate, spill blood over there in Venezuela. We did it in Honduras. We did it over Gaddafi's dead body. We did it over Saddam Hussein's dead body. Now we just did it over the dead body of a general, the number 2 man of Iran. Obama brought that country together and said, we're going to work with you long as we can check on you and we can validate that you're not using this uranium to build a bomb. You can do whatever you want. Use your uranium. That's your resources. That's your commodity. It's not ours. Who in the blue hell in heaven are we to tell you what to do with your resources? That's your resources. I just ask you, don't make any nuclear bombs, because if you do, then we're gonna have to lock down on you on that. Yet who in the hell are we to lock down on anybody when we are known to have different types of bombs and different types of weapons and drones striking them? Well, you know, we had a drone over their country and they shot it down. They should have shot it down. Why are we bringing our drones in trying to get some intelligence? Anytime somebody get intelligent, look, if Iran tried to send a drone in the United States, we'll shoot it down, no problem, and dare you to say something. But yet they do something, you dare them to, you get upset because I dare them to say something about our drone flying over their territory. They got the nerves to shoot it down and then talk stuff about it. What do you expect them to do? It's their country. It's their people. It's their land. It's their resources. It's not the United States. Donald Trump, well, we should have just went in there and took their oil. So you're just saying we should just went in there and just steal from them. People, you guys, I'm telling you, you guys, man, your main focus should be American exceptionalism in America, not outside. Our number one focus should be, out of many, we are one. And I mean literally, we are one in everything. All our money, the taxpayers' money, should be going into protecting America from being attacked. And there was nothing saying that America going to be attacked. There's no evidence saying that that man was going to attack America. Yeah, but he was planning on attacking Americans in another country. Well, Americans are always attacking innocent people in another country. We're attacking people in Chad with the help of Saudi Arabia. We're attacking people in Iran. We're attacking people in Iraq. We're attacking people in Afghanistan. You name it in the Middle East. And it's okay for us to do that. It's okay for us to kill people so we can allow Saudi Arabia to do whatever they want with their resources. But I tell you, boy, that breast of Saudi Arabia got to be so tasty that we're willing to kill to continue to suck on that breast of Saudi Arabia. Now, I'm a man. I like breasts. I like different types of breasts. I like rings. Let me stop. But ain't no breast is worth me going out here committing a crime. I don't care how big. I like them all. Big, small, it don't matter. But I ain't going out here trying to knock somebody upside the head just so I can suck on your breast. And that's what America is doing. Sucking on the breast of Saudi Arabia and Israel. I ain't show one video yet. Let me get into this video and let's listen to Mike the Liar Pompeo. God, man, I want these guys out of office so freaking bad, but I don't want it. I just don't want it by any means necessary. Because what we do is we'll get somebody in the Democratic Party that's on the low key doing this crap. Because Hillary Clinton played right in that seven region strategies of regime change and got that man killed and Gaddafi killed. A black man in Africa killed. Why? For no doggone reason. She just wanted to have something on her belt saying, I got rid of him. And Obama saying it's the worst thing. One of his biggest mistakes was allowing that thing to happen. And it is. Gaddafi should be hunting him and her every freaking day because that man came out of hiding to befriend the new black president of the United States because he thought he can get some kind of, that's my brother. He's black and he's going to understand, you know, and his dad is from Africa. His daddy is Kenyan. I can get a shot with this black man. Not knowing the whole time this black man was smiling in his face all the time, working with Hillary Clinton to have this man assassinated. But instead of using our bombs to do it, we're going to use the people to do it. At least Obama was a little smarter on who he's going to use to kill that man, to assassinate that man. Let's use his own people to get rid of Gaddafi. Yet, you see the videos of Obama being so cordial, so nice to this guy. They started working together to get rid of Al-Qaeda. Gaddafi was working with Obama and Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State, just like Mike Pompeo, to get rid of Al-Qaeda and a possible ISIS regime brewing up in the Middle East, in North Africa. Yet, they're going to use our money to fund these rebels, which is really terrorists, to try to topple that leadership. They call it a regime, but it's really a leadership, and take over the country so we can do business with them. See, we all know the reason why Muammar Gaddafi was killed by American leadership strategy through proxy rebels in the area. Because they was going to break off from using the golden. They was going to use the gold dinar instead of the franc from French, and we can't allow that to happen because our allies, the French, depend heavily on Libyan money. And now Gaddafi is talking about starting the United States of Africa and getting all the African nations to come together as governors, and we elect a president of Africa. That's what Gaddafi was doing. Just like America has the dollar, we're going to use the gold dinero. All black, all Africans are going to come together as one, which is white supremacy's nightmare. And we're going to depend on each other. And we're gonna do commerce and trade by gold versus a paper dollar that has no real value unless somebody put it on it. Had the man killed. And here you got this general from Iran who's been doing the same thing Gaddafi is doing, fighting with the Iraqis, who is working with the United States now to remove ISIS out of the regions, to defeat them, stop them from coming in and taking territories, but actually to push them back to the point of defeat. And as soon as they get opportunity that this man was going to come down and meet with Iraqi leadership to talk peace talks between Iran and Iraq, which has been going through tensions for hundreds of years, we going to seize on the opportunity. We get the intelligence saying, oh, he's in Iraq right now. Let's get him. So we're going to use the Iraqi leadership to draw this man into being open to peace talk, to negotiations, to diplomacy, and we're going to drop a bomb and kill that man, and not just him, but other people too. Then Mike Pompeo, let me get into some of these videos. I'm just doing all the talking. Give me a moment. Now we're going to look. Trump explained why Iran top general Qasem Soleimani had to die. So here's Trump talking about this man had to die. He had to die. Here is this man talking about, oh, me and Kim Jong-un, oh, we're best of buddies. Of course, Dennis Rodman hooked him up because Kim and Dennis Rodman friends, and Kim and Trump then, who would think? A black basketball player who went to school with my pastor's wife developed diplomacy between North Korea and United States. But yeah, he gonna say this man had to die. President Trump reacted Friday to the U.S. airstrike that killed a top Iranian general and others by tweeting that Iran never won a war, but never lost a negotiation. Again, Trump trying to overturn everything that Obama did was good. Obama gave them back the money that we took from them. We took billions of dollars from them and held that money hostage to force them to go along with our plan. You talking about a quid pro quo. We're going to take your money. This is way worse than we're going to give you money in exchange for you doing something from us. No, we're going to take your money and we ain't going to give it back until you do something for us. Yet Iran say, okay, fine. I'm going to prove to you we're not enriching uranium to build a nuclear weapon. We're going to do this nuclear deal. We're going to do this deal so we can start working together. And the Iranian leadership worked with President Obama and the Obama administration and kept their word. To this day, they kept their word. Why? Because they don't want to tick off the rest of the countries. You do realize that other countries that surround us, our allies, are not buying into this Trump unilaterally bombing and assassinating this general. Why are you assassinating this man? They've been going along. They've been doing the deal. We've been checking on them. So why are you going to scrap it? Why are you going to get rid of the Iranian deal? Why are you going to tear it up and wipe your butt with it and throw it in the toilet? Trump, why would you do something that stupid? Because we got to show our dominance over them? Yet here we got with these Trump nut huggers. Oh, Obama was weak and he just showing strength. No, that's showing stupidity. Because the man was getting it. Obama had the thing done. And it was working. He comes scrapping and tearing up everything like a little spoiled brat. I don't like the way he did it. I'm going to do it my way. Spoiled brat. It wasn't immediately clear what the president meant by the tweet, though. It appeared to be a dig at former President Obama for the nuclear deal he negotiated with Tehran. Trump is supposed to be a chief negotiator. He wrote the book called The Art of the Deal. He need to rewrite that book, call it The Art of the Steal and The Art of the Kill and Art of Destroy. You know, in the Bible say the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. This man just killed. He's going to steal. And he's destroying the Iranian people with these sanctions. Trump said General Qasem Soleimani, the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps Quad Forces, has killed or badly wounded thousands of Americans over an extended period of time and was plotting to kill many more but got caught. How? What evidence you got? Anybody can be a storyteller. Mark Twain was a great storyteller. Was it based on the true story or not? He said it was based on his life. What evidence do we have that that man killed and badly wounded thousands of Americans over an extended period of time when we and Obama and Bush and now Trump is doing the same thing? Killing and badly wounding thousands of foreigners, Iraqis, people in Syria, people in Chad, people in Somalia. And we may not be doing it one-on-one, but we're funding it over an extended period of time. He said he got caught. How? He added that the top Iranian commander was directly and indirectly responsible for the deaths of millions of people, including a recent large number of protesters killed in Iran itself. Where is that evidence, Trump? If anybody in this chat, a Trump nut hugger, show me the evidence. And who are we to have our chest stick out like we doing something noble when we've done the same thing? You realize how many Iraqis we've killed and how many of our own soldiers got killed in the name of regime change because we bought a lie and we sent them to fight a dumb fight? You realize how many people that are nuts so in their mind right now because they did 2, 3, 4 tours of duty and now they got PTS? Let's go listen to Mike Pompeo with his lying self. Listen to what this fool got to say.
An Iranian military advisor tells CNN this morning that that country will respond to the strike by targeting U.S. military sites. President Trump. An Iranian military advisor tells CNN this morning that that country will respond.
That's not the one I want. Hang in there with me. You guys got to understand, I'm no fan of Trump. And this fool tweeting threats. Now I had somebody say, well, you know, Kamala Harris was talking about they should take away his, we should pass a law to take away his rights to between threats. Well, that's not the federal government job to pass laws to try to silence people. It's still freedom of speech. But when if they're violating policies where somebody is making a threat to somebody, then they should suspend his account. If I threaten somebody on the malice threat, Twitter is going to suspend my account. But the Trump get to do that all day. Let's get into this, man.
An Iranian military advisor tells CNN this morning that that country will respond to the strike by targeting U.S. military sites. President Trump was tweeting threats to the Iranian government up until the wee hours of the morning, including on Saturday evening. Quote, "Let this serve as a warning that if Iran strikes any Americans or American assets, we have targeted 52 Iranian sites representing the 52 American hostages taken by Iran many years ago, some at a very high level and important to Iran." And
all right, so let's stop right here because this guy is just, he's just, oh God. If Obama was saying that, you Trump nut huggers would be going off. So, and since I don't take sides, I don't like neither one of them when it comes to them and their policy decisions. Both of them about as dumb as attack when it comes to foreign policy. All I can say is Obama did work toward peace. Donald Trump gonna say something dumb like this in a tweet at that. We bombed and killed your general. Now I wish y'all would do something, because if you do something, then you give us the right to bomb you some more. What fool's gonna let you kill their daddy and you don't expect them to come for you? You know the Iranian people put a bounty on Trump's head and labeled him a terrorist. Now, I don't care how many Secret Service men you got around you, in your heart, you realize what you did was wrong. It was dumb. But you're going to let yes men surround you and make you feel like you did the right thing. And then you're going to let yes men in the media like Fox News going to make you feel like you did the right thing. And then you're going to have your yes men supporters going to sit there and believe that you did the right thing. You killed one of the most popular men in Iran, whom beloved by majority of the people, who is a hero in those people's eyesight. So you killing him did not make the world safer. It did not make the world respect the United States and fear the United States. And now you're trying to be big bag boogeyman saying, I wish you would do something to us because we got sight on all your famous sites. And if you even think about doing something to us, we're going to bomb them all. What military leader, what government leader is going to allow that man to make some idle threat like that? You guys should be on TV, on the microphone, calling him out for that. If you need to impeach him on something, impeach him on him losing his freaking mind. He just threatened to attack public sites. Yet Iranian, when they did finally attack, they gave you plenty of hours to leave the base, just like Trump did when it came to Syria. I'm letting you know I'm going to bomb your site. If you got men there, you better get them out. A real terrorist wouldn't tell you. A real terrorist will creep on you and kill you all. Iran did not do that. After you killed our top guy, we still are not trying to attack you, but we got to send a message that you hit us, we're going to hit you back. We're not just going to lay down there and let you do like everybody else, run over them. It ain't that kind of party, Trump. We're going to defend our people, and we're going to defend our people just like you said that you shouldn't have no right to kill any American. You shouldn't have no right to kill any of our people, and we're going to defend our people. Yeah, Trump still giving no evidence of what this man has done. Recently, when this man was at a briefing on peace talks between Iran and Iraq. Again, another thing that America don't want, they don't want Iran and Iraq to have a relationship. Just like they don't like the relationship between Syria and Russia. Who are we to try to determine who gets to be with who and who gets to have a relationship with who? Who are you? And then on top of that, we're going to put ultimatums on the countries that's saying, I'm not buying into this Trump. They were doing their job. They signed a treaty, an agreement, and they were following the treaty and agreement, and you going to rip it up. We're not joining you on that, dog. You're on your own. And yet he's going to try to put threat on those people too. Whose side you going to stand on? Ours or none? What this is going to do, it's going to rally the world against the United States if we don't get that fool out of office. And we definitely cannot put in the office another freaking neocon like Biden or, well, what's his name is gone? Castro. But like Biden is a neocon. Well, he's a neoliberal. But he's for war. He's a militarist. There wasn't a war that he did not like or participated. There was not a war that Biden did not sign his name on. Afghanistan, Iran, top people to sign on. Actually whipped up people to sign the thing. Our next president needs to be a president of peace that is against wars. Especially regime change wars. Well, let's keep listening to this.
The Iranian culture and those targets in Iran itself, all caps, will be hit very fast and very hard, unquote.
You see that? The president is talking about bombing Iranian cultural sites. The president of the United States are tweeting without leaderships from the Pentagon, from the CIA, from Congress. He's tweeting out on his own some of the stupidest, dumbest, childish stuff to another freaking country. You're not talking to a fellow real estate person that you're in competition with. You're talking about another country, bruh. That if you even think about doing something to one of our Americans after you don't bomb one of their people, if you even think about it, we're going to blow up some of your cultural sites. We got targets on all your cultural sites. That's like Iranians saying, look, if you kill one of our people again, we got targets on all the museums in Washington, D.C. We got targets on, I mean, you name it. These are sites where there are people visiting. You just threatened to bomb innocent people. You Trump supporters, do you realize what he said? He's saying that he's going to bomb innocent people. But yet Fox News sit up here and held that as a sign of strength. No, that's a sign of losing your freaking mind. The man is out of his mind. He's not even fit to be president. And there's not that many on the Democratic side that's not fit to be president either. Because they are just as hawkish. They just more prettier with the words and a little more incognito with their vocabulary and their verbiage. They're not going to sound like a dumb idiot playing around with his phone. Mad because she dumped me. And I got to call her out. Man, I thought these people were smart. I thought these people were intelligent. I'm not the smartest man in the world, but man, I got some freaking common sense, man.
The Trump administration is privately warning members of Congress that Iran's retaliation could come within weeks. Administration officials say the president ordered the airstrike on Qasem Soleimani to head off an imminent attack against Americans, but the American people have not yet seen any evidence of an imminent attack, and some in Congress who have been briefed say they remain unconvinced the threat was imminent.
Facts. That is true. Now, look, you know how I feel about Jake Tapper, and I think that was his porn name before he got in news and media. Jake Tapper. But he's telling the truth on this one. What evidence? The evidence you showed us does not show that that man was a threat to American citizens. So why would you do something dumb enough to not just bomb him, but bomb him in the country of our allies? You bombed him in Iraq is supposed to be one of our allies now. We came in there, we bombed the crap out of them, we killed 500,000 people of their people and thousands of our soldiers to get them to become one of our puppets, and now they're one of our puppets. Our puppet's going to get this man to come into his country to do some peace talks between Iran and Iraq, which hasn't been done in a long time, and you're going to bomb a foreign leader in the country of your allies. What dummy does that? Well, Trump's all right. He had to smoke the guy out in order to get him because we couldn't get him in Iran, and you doggone right. My point is, why are you trying to get him? He ain't the only fool that murdered people. He ain't the only fool that probably killed some Americans. Again, many people as American government has killed.
Joining me now, the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo. Mr. Secretary, thanks
Look at this lying fool.
For joining us this
Look
morning.
at that smile.
Let's start about this new threat from President Trump. Is the tweet accurate?
Another
is
check.
the U.S. really preparing to
Another
hit
day in a day of work.
Non-military cultural targets in Iran, which would obviously possibly result in civilian threats and almost certainly violate a UN resolution that the U.S. voted for in 2017?
Jake, thanks for having me on this morning. President Trump has been resolute. We will continue to be. We will defend America. The strikes we took over this.
This man just said we just signed a treaty that we won't do these stupid stuff, and he's still going to defend the president. But again, that's the guy who's your boss, right? Mike Pompeo, you're another one. And see, these are white supremacists. I call them white supremacists. I believe they're racist. Trump's a racist. Mike Pompeo's a racist. Biden's a racist. Hillary Clinton's a racist. But they got black friends. The smartest racists always surround themselves around black people because they got to hide behind their racism. Don't you dare fall for that. And don't you dare believe that if we're in another administration, this wouldn't happen. This was planned to happen. This is one of the things Hillary Clinton was trying to do the same thing to Assad in Syria. The same freaking thing, part of that 7-country strategy that we got to do regime change of that Major West talked about. That our federal government is unnegotiable, determined to do regime change in 7 countries. And we are on the 7th country right now. Syria is one of those countries. Hillary Clinton was focused on regime change in Syria and regime change in Libya, part of that 7-country strategy. Mike Pompeo and Ellen Abrams and John Bolton and Donald Trump, they were hell-bent on regime change in Iran. So since they're not doing anything against us, we got to come up with some kind of lie. And if you go and watch my video on how to start a war for dummies, the Iran version, you can Google it, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. During a meeting, they was talking about how for some reason we can't get the president to attack Iran. So what we got to do is we got to start the attack on the count or basis of American interests. What they're doing is against us, and we got to stop them. It's going to hurt our interest. What is your interest? Your interest is to dominate. Your interest is to control. Your interest is to steal. And you'll kill in order to do it.
This past week, including killing the terrorist Soleimani, we will continue to take if we need to. If we need to defend American interests, we will do so. What President Trump said last night is consistent with...
See, it's called defend American interests. You're not defending our country because we haven't been attacked. We haven't been attacked in a long freaking time. The last attack that we had was the 9/11 attack, and we found out that our Saudi Arabia buddies, who we keep sucking the nipples on, were behind that. But yet we still sucking them nipples. Got to suck on that nipple of Saudi Arabia. Yet they've been implicated in the 911 report of funding the attacks at the World Trade Center and at the Pentagon. And yet this administration are the biggest titty suckers out of all the presidents when it comes to Saudi Arabia. Now, in that video, I showed you that he talked about we can't get the president to really attack. We can't find no way to really get this guy to attack. So what we got to do is we got to manufacture. We have to come up with something. And we have to do it under the disguise of American interests. If we can't get them to attack us, then we got to make it look like they attacked us, because that's what we do. Or we got to make it look like they're committing some kind of heinous crime toward their own people. Well, we can't do that with Iran, because Iran ain't doing anything to their own people like we claim Saddam Hussein was doing. Like we can't claim Kim Jong-un, like we claimed Bashar is doing to his people. We can't claim that with Iran. We're the ones starving Iran with sanctions. So we have to do this under the disguise of American interests. So you're going around assassinating people because of American interests. Yeah, I just did it because I'm interested in America. I'm interested in America. What you do is you give numbnuts out here on the streets that so-called love America, and if you anti-America, I got to do it for the case of American interests. Again, you can be critical of your government and still love America. America is a body of land filled with a body of people. The government is only a representation of American policies, but it's not a full representation of America in the way America believes in general. Don't get it twisted.
We have said all along, Iranian proxy forces in Iraq have thought that they could act with impunity, and that if they acted, we wouldn't take strikes against Iran proper. We've made clear 4 months to the Iranian regime that that wouldn't be the case, that we were going to hold responsible.
And there they go with this regime calling, the Iranian regime. The Iranian regime.
Actors, the leaders who took these actions and who orchestrated these actions. President Trump's tweet last night made clear we will continue to do that, and the American people should know we will always defend them, and we'll do so in a way that is consistent with the international rule of law and the American Constitution. We've done it before.
You're not doing it with international law. You're breaking in international laws. Trump is a habitual international law breaker and is not in with the Constitution because you haven't conducted Congress concerning this. You haven't shown any evidence of nothing.
We will do it again.
Well, you're saying two different things there, sir, with all due respect, because President Trump's threat on Iranian cultural centers or centers of interest to the Iranian culture would not be in accordance with international law. So
facts.
Which is it?
Jake, they're not two different things. I've been with President Trump through the entire...
It ain't got nothing to do whether you've been with him or not. It is two different things. He tweeting out attacking cultural sites is directly against international law. Him putting that tweet out is against international law. And right now, Congress should be meeting with each other to get this guy removed out of office. You're talking about bombing innocent people. I got targets on the sites, and I know innocent people going to be at those sites. And if y'all do something to one of us again, we're going to kill all y'all. Stop making up for this, Mike Pompeo.
Our strategic planning process related to our entire campaign, diplomatic, economic, and military. We built out an enormous coalition to push back against the Islamic Republic of Iran and its kleptocratic regime. The American people should know that we will not waver. We will be bold in protecting American interests, and we'll do so in a way that's consistent with the rule of law. We've always done that.
There it is again. American interest. What is American interest in another country? Oh, I got it. American is interested in the region, controlling petroleum, crude oil, diamonds, coal, gold, minerals, gems. We got to get that because it's more money for us. Remember I said, America got wealthy on blood, sweat, and tears. It wasn't just the grace of God. God still blessed us as a result of our stupidity, but yet God still provides grace to people who do dumb stuff every day, including drug dealers and murderers. That's why I don't serve your God. Oh, we need grace. God's trying to give you an opportunity to connect with him before something really bad happened to you. And really, your time is almost up. You better hurry up.
And President Trump's tweet doesn't deviate from that one iota.
So cultural centers are theoretically fair targets in your view?
Jake, we're going to do the things that are right and the things that are consistent with American law. I've been part of the discussion and planning process. Everything I've seen about how we will respond with great force and great vigor if the Iranian leadership makes a bad decision. We hope that they won't, but when they do, America will respond.
All right, so stop saying America, you idiot. Stop saying America. No, the Trump administration will respond, and Trump using the military to respond. You sitting up here defending this mess of this man talking about he got targets on public targets that's going to kill innocent people if they do something again. And here you are talking about American interests and talking about protecting American interests. And we got to do what I would do. So the internet, by you agreeing with Trump and you're siding with him as the Secretary of State, you should be brought up on charges. You should be brought to court. You should be held as a war hawk, and you should be brought to trial under the World Court if he does that. That will make you a terrorist. And the fact of the matter, guys, and I know my white friends are going to get upset, ain't no black man up here doing this stuff. Ain't no woman up here. No, I can't say women because you got some of these white women that's up here just kissing Trump behind, not to mention the black women that's married to white men on Fox News kissing Trump behind. You know, I don't know what it is, man. And I'm not faulting you guys for it. I mean, look, I'm just telling it like it is. You're going to either get these black Trump nut huggers holding his nuts, defending him, knowing he's wrong. And here you got this white man defending him, knowing he is wrong. You should have been saying Trump shouldn't have never said that. I consulted with the president. That is not what the president, at least try to lie for the man. But you sitting up here agreeing with the fact, well, I'm with the president on this. If you get froggy, we gonna blow up all your cultural sites, and if people happen to be there, bada boom, bada bing, it is what it is. You guys are something else. I mean, we use the word white supremacy often, but this is white supremacy worldwide. Because it's white supremacy worldwide that's doing this stupid stuff. Then again, I can't blame it 100% on white supremacy because you got rich oil barons like Saudi Arabia that's right along with this. And their buddies, the government of Israel. So you got the government of Israel, you got the government of Saudi Arabia, and the government of the United States. So you got Jewish leaders going against the will of the Jewish people in Israel. You got white leaders white Christian leaders, so-called Christian leaders in the United States going against the will of the United States. And you got a rare form of Muslim practices, one of the harshest ones in Saudi Arabia, by the government of Saudi Arabia, which has nothing to do with the people of Saudi Arabia. Again, these world leaders making us look bad. You need to stop saying Americans, because we ain't got nothing to do with this, dog.
You said you hope that this strike de-escalates the situation. President Trump is obviously now threatening in capital letters to hit Iran very fast and very hard. That does not seem like de-escalation.
Jake, we're trying to restore deterrence that, frankly, is a need that results directly from the fact that the previous administration left us in a terrible place with respect to the Islamic Republic of Iran.
This man he's good. He said he lied. He said he taught people how to lie. Therefore, he's going through this lie right now. You're going to blame this on Obama? Obama had peace talks with Iran. Obama had a good thing going in Iran. He was able to monitor Iran. Iranian people was appreciative of the fact that Obama reached out to try to restore relations, remove sanctions, and work things out. You dummies want to rip up the plan because you don't want peace. You just want to hit somebody upside the head with your peace. You want to be the bullies. You want to be the dominators. You want to beat people up and bully them around. Put your foot on their neck. You want to be NYPD on steroids going into the black and Hispanic community. That's all you are. The more I hear Mike Pompeo, the more I miss what's his name from the one that was
Team
before
Obama
him.
Appeased Iran, and it led to Shia militias with money, Hamas, the PIJ, hundreds of thousands of Syrians killed by Soleimani himself. This was the place we found.
Hundreds of thousands of Syrians killed by Soleimani himself. What proof you have of that? And when did you start caring about Syrians? And that's the Syrian people. That's their fight to fight. That ain't ours, bruh. What happened to American interests? What happened to nationalism?
Ourselves when we came in, and we have developed a strategy to attempt to convince the Iranian regime to behave like a normal nation. That's what our strategy is about.
We got a strategy to convince them to behave like a normal nation. So we try to be the parents. We the world's parents. And if these kids don't shape up, I'm spanking they behind until they shape up. Just because we got money, just because we got a military, we got to walk around and act like we're parents and guardians of other nations. So we have a plan, we have a strategy to force them to do whatever the hell we tell them to do. If we need them to jump, they're going to jump. And we need them to do the running man, they're going to do the running man. In other words, we need to turn Iranian and the rest of these countries into our Stephan's wife. Let's keep going.
We've been executing it. We will continue to do so. We have every expectation that we'll ultimately achieve that goal.
Do you think President Trump threatening to attack 52 sites in Iran, one for each one of the American hostages taken by Iran in 1979 is de-escalating, is providing an...
And see, that's even dumb. What advisor told you to say, I got targets on 50 plus sites in representation of the 50 something people that you took into hostage a long time ago during Jimmy Carter? Reagan solved that, man. So way back then, way back in the past, Reagan solved that situation. Carter lost his re-election as a result of it. And you gonna go all the way back to the freaking 70s and 80s, Donald Trump, holding grudges. What dumb, stupid advisor advised you to tweet that stupid mess out? Because you clearly is not smart enough to think that quick. You are a good troller, but you ain't smart enough to troll on that level. Now, of course, we talking about what Trump did in the news, but this is horrible.
An off-ramp for the Iranians?
We've provided them clear guidance about what it is we have as an expectation. We have worked with them. We've tried to have conversations with them. It is important that they understand that America will no longer behave the way that it did during the Obama-Biden administration. We will no.
You mean stop using America, you idiot. We're not in agreement with you. We're not in agreement with you. So stop saying America. You mean you. The Trump administration, stop using America. America has nothing to do with it. We were fine with the way things were going on with Obama's relationship with Iran. We had no problem. We're over here minding our own business. Going to work, getting a check, cooking chicken at night, watching some TV, some Netflix, minding our own business. And you guys want to represent us saying that we want to go to war with Iran. That we want Iran to ship up, or we gonna beat them into shape. That's you. You guys are doing that alone, solo, the Trump administration, you and Trump. Congress wasn't told about this, so you can't blame them, and I can blame them for a lot of stuff, but you can't blame them for that. You did that. Stop using Americans.
No longer appease, will no longer tolerate. Frankly, this war kicked off. People talk about the war. This war kicked off when the JCPOA was entered into. It told the Iranians that they had free reign to develop a Shia crescent that extended from Yemen to Iraq to Syria and into Lebanon, surrounding our ally Israel and threatening American lives as well.
See? Sucking the nipples of Israel. Them doing this thing has nothing to do with threatening Israel. Israel is a bully just like we are. So we got two bullies on the playing field. One come from out of town visiting his grandmother and want to bully around the kids in the neighborhood. And the other one is his friend who happens to be a bully that lives in town. Well, you guys are something else.
We've taken a very different approach. That approach has been successful. There's obviously more work to do, Jake.
The Trump administration is privately warning members of Congress that Iran is expected to retaliate within weeks. Here's just some of what's happened in the last 72 hours. The U.S. has told all Americans to immediately leave Iraq. The U.S. is sending thousands of additional U.S. service members from the 82nd Airborne to Kuwait. Soleimani's deputy has been appointed to replace him. The German government has raised its threat level. The British Navy is now accompanying UK ships in the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. is bracing for possible Iranian cyber attacks. You've said that, quote, the world is a much safer place today, unquote. Now, I can see you making the argument that the world will be safer in the long term, but how can you say we're safer today given the increased and heightened threat level?
Jake, my reference was very clear to the strategy that the Trump administration had laid out.
Mike, your calm bravado voice ain't convincing anybody that this is a good deal. This is bad. We're not safe. I live in New York. We got a lot of Iranian Americans here that's probably pissed off, and we probably might have some that's really love the country of the United States but can't stand our government. We got people in Iran right now saying, look, we love the American people, but we can't stand your president. Yeah, you want to sit here and say, oh, what we doing is right. The American people is on our side. No, we're not. We ain't got nothing to do with this. You fools did this. This is on your hands. I ain't got nothing to do with that bounty that they put on your head, bruh. I ain't got nothing to do with it. You asked for that. Trump asked for that. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Don't look at me. I want to have nothing to do with that because y'all fools are going around making these decisions just like the rest of these politicians without consulting the American people, without any polling or anything. And you're making up stuff and pulling stuff out of your behind to justify it. Stop this stuff, man. But you got to understand, this guy is a self-proclaimed professional liar. He said he teaches courses on how to lie and have you believe the lies that they tell you. Yet you don't think this is not him demonstrating what he's taught? If you don't think that, then, man, you need your head examined.
The Middle East was unstable. We are creating a place and an opportunity for that stability. We've done so by building out coalitions.
You made it more unstable.
We've done so working alongside our friends and partners. We've done so by making it very clear to the Islamic Republic of Iran that we weren't going to accept their rogue behavior in the way the previous administration did.
Rogue behavior? We rogue behavior. You guys are rogue.
People. I am convinced, and I think General Milley had it right. He said we would have been culpably negligent had we not taken that stride against terrorist Soleimani. We'll continue to do those things that reduce risk to America. I know that the risk to America over the long run is much reduced as a result of the actions President Trump and our administration has taken in these last 3 years.
Okay, that's in the long run, but I'm talking about the short term. Let me ask you just a question. Do you know for a fact that the mission that Soleimani was working on, you say, the attacks that you say he was planning, have they been called off, those attacks?
We're prepared for anything the Islamic Republic of Iran
see, he can't.
do, Jake.
He's a liar.
There are clearly actors that go beyond Soleimani. That's why we're still doing the work we're doing. And that's why we're still preparing. It's why we're still flowing forces to the region. It's why we're doing all the things we're doing, building out our coalition, making sure our partners are defending our embassies and diplomatic facilities and military installations all throughout the region. It's why you saw the statement that was put out by
defend him
the
yourself,
DHS.
man. You the one did
getting
this.
prepared in the event that the Islamic Republic of Iran leadership makes a bad decision.
Let's talk about why you carried out the strike, the intelligence behind it all. Some members of Congress and others who have been briefed on the intelligence say they have not seen sufficient evidence to conclude that the attack you refer to, the attack on Americans, was actually imminent, as you have claimed. When do you plan to share evidence with Congress, with the American people, to clear up any questions here?
Well, the intelligence has been shared with leaders in Congress already, and we'll continue to share that. We'll go up to Capitol Hill and brief them yet again this week, I expect. But the American people have the evidence right in front of their eyes. We don't have to guess about what Soleimani was up to.
Here we go with the American people have the evidence before their eyes. Most Americans never knew who this guy was. And you never presented any evidence, you never presented any case, and you expect this should be that we should all of a sudden see what you see when we don't even see what you see. And usually before you plan an attack or imminent attack or some kind of attack, even when it came to Osama bin Laden, we had to plan that. We had to strategize for that. What Trump is trying to do, he's trying to talk about how many terrorists he's taken out to try to trump up what Obama did with bin Laden. That's what I really believe. He just feel like he got to prove himself to be better than the black man, half black man. And as president, it ain't got nothing to do with that. Your job is to protect the American people, and stop saying the American people are on your side on this, because we're not. What evidence do we see? This guy, man, I'm telling you.
We know what he did on December 27th.
We know. We. Boy, you speaking a whole lot of French up here, because American people ain't got nothing to do with what you're talking about.
He killed an American. And we know what he's done for years and years and years. Killed hundreds of Americans. There's no need to guess about what Soleimani would have been up to the day after and the day after and the day after. This was a bad guy. We took him from the battlefield. We saw that he was plotting further plans to take down Americans, in some cases, many Americans. We took the right action to defend and protect America. President Trump will never shy away from that.
When you say the attacks were imminent, how imminent were they? Were we talking about days? Were we talking about weeks?
If you're an American in the region, days and weeks,
freaking liar,
this is not
man.
something that's relevant. We have to prepare. We have to be ready. And we took a bad guy off the battlefield. We made the right decision. There is less risk today to American forces in the region as a result of that attack.
Yeah, just like you did with Martin Luther King.
And the execution by our
Malcolm
military
X
was phenomenal, and the work that's been done by our diplomats in the region to prepare and to work diplomatically in the region has been powerful, important, and effective.
I keep coming back to the fact that you keep saying it's safer now, even at the same time that the U.S. government is telling all Americans to leave Iraq. I mean, I understand the idea that in the long term the region
you don't seem
could
to,
be
Jake.
stable. Well,
you don't seem to understand that. You know, oftentimes I've heard you say, Jake, America thinks just about the moment, doesn't think about the long-term strategic implications. This administration,
I don't know that I've ever said that about
this
America.
administration,
I've certainly said that about leaders of this country.
Yes, sir. This administration is thinking about exactly that. We are setting the conditions for a successful and safe America. Prosperous America at home, secure America abroad. This is our Middle East strategy. It's what we've done over these last 3 years in Iraq, in pushing back against the Islamic Republic of Iran. We will not stray from that course, Jake.
I do want to ask you, because there does seem to be a disconnect here. But President Trump, according to polling, a majority of the American people have never considered him honest, have never considered him trustworthy. This is the American people, not me.
And we don't trust Mike Pompeo. Don't trust you either, Jake Tapper. But we definitely don't trust Mike Pompeo with his line behind. Self-proclaimed liar, as you saw at the beginning of the video. So why would you sit here and believe them in these lies right now? I don't understand that. The man told you. He teaches people how to lie. But yet some people will sit here and watch this man on TV and believe him, and their heart get all warm and feel like patriots over some lies.
Okay? And there is this credibility gap. In addition, obviously, this nation has heard leaders, whether it's blaming a YouTube video for the attacks on the embassy in Benghazi or WMD in Iraq. People have heard this government, the government of the United States, say things to them that were not true when it comes to the war. Do you understand that there might be a special responsibility to provide proof and evidence to the American people of the imminence of the attack, of the need to carry out the mission that you carried out?
Jake, I do understand the power that we have and the need that we have to try and share with the American people everything we possibly can about why it is we're taking the actions that we take. And we'll do that. We'll continue to do everything we can consistent with protecting our sources and our methods and importantly, our capacity to continue to see and
Now, this fool is saying, we will do this. No, you should have did this before you did anything. Anything. I'm so freaking sick and tired of these freaking politicians. I'm so freaking tired of these leaders doing stupid stuff without consulting the American people, not even Congress, making these unilateral decisions, dumb, in other countries, killing people, and then trying to make it seem like it's a good thing for us. It's like a parent say, eat all the cake you want. It tastes good. Yeah, but it's going to rot my teeth out and probably going to clog up my arteries. Man, just give me, I don't like the liver and gravy with onions. My mom love it, but she give it to me because it's healthy. This ain't healthy for America. You bombing another country's leader to start a war in another country that you're supposed to be allies with, that they felt like you pimped them and used them to draw that man out of the smoke so you can kill him. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Why did you do that? We working on peace agreement because we don't want y'all to have peace talks, because we don't want them to have any kind of rest, because we don't like Iran, because Iran won't go along with what we want in life. We are the parents. We are the guardians of the world. And if that Iranian don't stop being a child and be an adult and do whatever we tell them to do, then we gonna make them pay. And then we're going to do it in the guise of American interests. And we're going to say that the American people is supporting us when the American people are not supporting you and Jack. I'm almost, I got two parts to this because I went long.
To understand what's going on and presenting threats, we don't want to risk that intelligence. I spent a little bit of time as the director of the Central Intelligence Agency. We never want.
And he said they lied all the time.
Want to put that at risk. But as the Secretary of State, I also know my solemn obligation to make sure we share with the American people everything we can about why it is we're taking the actions and how it is we expect that we will deliver to protect and defend America each and every day, Jake.
And yet you have not showed us nothing up to this point, you big head liar. I'm done. So here we got Mike Pompeo defending the president's tweets, defending the president's attack on Soleimani. trying to come up with any kind of excuse, any kind of reason to attack. The bottom line about the Iranians that people don't want to talk about is America had a deal. And it was a solid deal. We were able to monitor whether it was doing uranium to create a nuclear weapon. Trump threw that in the trash. Now he has no way to see if they're making uranium for a bomb. All they can do is walk around and say, we're not going to allow them to make a bomb. And how? Because we're going to take over the country. The way Obama was doing was weak. The best way to do it is take over the country and put in one of our puppet leaders. That way we know it's not going to happen. But you sending people in from the UN and doing inspection and all that kind of stuff, that's weak. That's weak sauce. Let's just take over. Let's come up with some kind of lie. Let's make it seem like they tried to bomb a ship. Let's make it seem like they blew, like blowing up one of our drones that's over their area is the same as blowing up a pilot, an American pilot. Let's do whatever we can to fault them to give us a reason to go in there and take over. Always the same plan. Let's come up with a lie, because that's what we do, and let's see if the American people will buy it. Now, we got a whole bunch of people that like what we're doing because they love us. They love Trump. They love administration. So automatically they're going to go along with our talking point. And if we can get more of them than those who don't, we good. Problem is, Doc, we see right through you, Mike Pompeo. We got you on video talking about how much you lie and how much you teach people to lie. Yet you're going to sit here and say that you showed the American people the evidence. The American people ain't see anything. You're going to say we seen it. We haven't seen jack. We're going to say that we're backing you in all this, and we don't. You guys are going to unilaterally take out a man that was the number 2 man of a country, and now you got that country pretty much hating us. Yet some of them smart enough to know that it wasn't the American people that enforced this or endorsed this. It was our selfish, do whatever they want to do, Trump administration pushing our federal government, saddling along with the military industrial complex to build bombs and possibly go to war to spend that money that we just gave them. Instead of taking that money and giving it to the American people and bettering the American people, true American interests, you got a bunch of money for military operation and now you feel the need to spend it. You're going to kill a popular general and going to put all this accusation on him and not show us any evidence. Now, I'm not saying he never killed any Americans. But it depends on the situation. If an American trying to kill you, what do I expect you to do? Defend yourself. Or if you know a bunch of Americans are coming in to kill you, I wouldn't be shocked if you took a stance to defend yourself. Everybody got a right to defend themselves. Who's the aggressor? Who's the real aggressor in this situation? These people are full of bull. I don't trust them. I don't like them. Our government got to do better. The people of America got to demand better. See, this is what happened when you vote the lesser 2 evils. Because if they wasn't working on Trump to get this done with Iran, and Trump really had an interest to get this done with Iran because Obama, his arch nemesis, his arch enemy, somebody that he's trying to be more popular and trying to get more approval of. He's trying to one up him all the time. And I don't know why, because Obama very rarely in my book did good things. He did some good things, more than Trump, but it wasn't unstellar, especially when it came to my people. But Obama did this deal and Trump just had to rip it up. Anything Obama did that was good for the world, I'm ripping it up. This was a good deal and he messed it up. And now you got to bully your way in order to get Iran to become your whipping boy. But how are you going to make somebody your whipping boy when you are the whipping boy of the Saudis and the Saudi government and the Israeli government? I don't want to put the people in this. Guys, I'm done with this. I will never ever buy and support an American attack on foreign soil. Now, if my brothers and sisters in the military are literally being attacked, and you've shown us the evidence of some future attacks, I'm for the interests of my brothers and sisters. I really am. But you come making up bull stuff just to start a war and take over somebody's region, then we look like the bullies. I thank God that some countries do understand that American people have not approved none of this stuff. Some people, not all of them, think that way, but there's some in countries that know that American people in general did not want our, we don't side with our government decision, whether Democratic or Party. We don't side with them. They do their own thing, and we hate it just as much as you do, and that's why we're fighting hard to get these people out of office. I will never vote for a neocon. I'll never vote for a neoliberal. I will never vote the lesser two evils because they'll get you still evil. I will always vote for the greater good. And if you're for supporting wars, I ain't for supporting you. I don't care if you're Democratic or Republican. Especially dumb proxy wars, regime change wars. I strongly believe the only time we should be attacking is when it looked like somebody's really going to attack us here on American soil. Attack on America. If there's an attack going on on our American soldiers, Pentagon need to step their game up. But you signed up to become a soldier, and the chance of you being attacked is part of the game. I hate to say that, but it's part of the game. You signed up to defend America, but you signed up to go wherever they go. You don't become your property no more. Than one moment you sign up to become to go in the military, you're no longer your United States property. And if they tell you to go somewhere and put your life on the line, that's part of the game. So if some numbnut want to attack American soldiers, that's part of the game. American soldiers, because we got numbnuts in the military that go around attacking innocent people in other countries, and Trump just pardoned one. It's part of the game. But the only time that we should be bombing people in this fashion is when somebody has been proven to attack us. Osama bin Laden is proven to have attacked us. Anyway, I'm done. Mike Pompeo, boy, I tell you. This is Rob Brown with the Rob Report. Like, subscribe, share. I know I went a little long. If you want to support the channel, you see the links there, Cash App and PayPal if you want to support the channel, any amount I do. But look, guys, let's don't fall. Now, this Sunday and Wednesday thing is going to change up here. Streaming live at 11 p.m. It's probably going to be on Wednesdays only. Wednesday nights. We're going to be doing a live Rob Report. Okay? I'll holler at you later. Peace.